Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast. Thank you for checking out another episode of the show. Today's feature is returning guest, Justin James Carretta. Had a ton of fun recording this one with Justin. We actually ended up recording this back in the late November, so it's slightly dated, but it's really a great conversation. And we had a lot of fun talking about his brand new music, including his single, Somebody, that you can now stream wherever you're getting your digital music or download it on iTunes or wherever you're getting music. Follow along with him on Facebook and Instagram. I do want to remind you that Rock Paper Podcast is brought to you by Roughneck Beard Company over in Maplewood area. Swing by and visit them at their shop or shop 24/7 at roughneckbeardcompany.com. Stop in and pick up some of their beard oils, beard balms. They've got all sorts of wonderful grooming products, whatever you need. A lot of them infused with, like coffee or whatever you're into. They've got, all sorts of different fragrances. And I think you would really like it. But I do want to recommend you check out their Roughneck Beard Batter. Roughneck Beard Batter is the ultimate beard and skin moisturizer. It's a blend of 8 nutrient-rich soft oils whipped directly into unrefined shea butter for a moisturizing kick like no other. The highest amount of triglycerides and fatty acids available on the beard care market, hands down. World-renowned, but made right here in St. Louis. Again, shop 24/7 at roughneckbeardcompany.com. Use my code RPP15 for an exclusive 15% off your purchase. And that's a great way to help support the show and support local business at the same time. Again, RPP15 at checkout. Also, big thank you to Heil Sound for their continued support and helping make this show sound great. Head on over to heilsound.com today and pick up a brand new microphone. Now, that is it for me. If you need me, of course, you can always find me at the new and improved rockpaperpodcast.com. Hit me up on the socials. Email me at rockpaperpodcast@gmail.com. I would love to hear what you think of this show. If you have any requests people you'd like to hear on the show or anything else, just want to say, hey, I would love to hear from you guys. So with that out of the way, sit back, relax, and enjoy this brand new episode with Justin James Carretta.
Podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio. It's on the internet. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. Yeah. That's also like my mom. It makes it sound more confusing, doesn't it? It sounds like this.
This is Justin Carretta, and you're listening to Rock Paper Podcast.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Scissors beat paper, paper covers rock. Rock beats scissors, Shane covers non-stop. Never know what new kind of guest that he's got coming at you. Live and direct on the spot. Could be rock, folk, country, or hip-hop, jazz. All kind of folks that he has. Could be an artist or a comedian to make you laugh on the
Rock Paper Podcast.
Double-decker fudge round, rolling round town. Shane coming at you live and direct from ground zero. He's your hero, he's your bestie. Rock Paper Podcast with Shane Presley.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast, coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. Hanging out today with returning guest, Justin Carretta. Welcome back to the show, my friend.
Thank you, Shane. Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, man. Always cool to catch up. October 2019, you appeared on this show.
I was just looking at that too.
With our buddy Gerald.
Yep.
And that was a lot of fun. And I don't know, man. I feel like me and you, and I mean, there's a bunch of us, but like we've been running around this St. Louis music scene together for a long time. But I feel like that was like really like when we started becoming buddies. Like that was a nice like. I mean, we had talked before that. Yeah. But I feel like since then we've become real good friends.
Yeah, definitely more friendly. And I think that's just like there was such a big gap in my kind of like entrance back into kind of the scene, whatever you want to call it, you know,
Right.
just trying to like do something new. So yeah, that, I mean, it just goes with the territory, you know?
Yeah, but I'm thankful for that day, and this show continuing to bring me, you know, closer to friends and stuff. That's why this is a great excuse for just sitting down and talking with my buddies and getting a chance to hang out and talk about new music and everything else and just life.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So, but yeah, I'm just in the last year or so we've been able to stay closer in contact, talking occasionally and stuff, and just it's always fun to get to spend an hour hanging out talking with you. So I'm glad to be back here today, and we got some brand new Justin Carretta music on the way.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing this is the beginning of I guess your debut as a solo artist.
Yeah, it'll be my debut just as yeah, I guess you could say that for sure. I'm going, you know, titling it as my own name. So it's definitely a project that I've kind of wanted to do for a really long time. So it just kind of like, it's time, you know, I have the means and the time now to do it. So that was kind of like my main struggle in years past, is just like not being able to dedicate the time. And I finally kind of like been like kind of grabbing the corners of all my time and just kind of putting them in a pile and trying to make stuff work, and it's been really, really fulfilling. So I'm really, really satisfied with it.
Yeah, man. Like I said, you worked on Gerald's project as a guitar player, and you've lended your vocals to a lot of like backgrounds and things. But is it weird for you to step up and be the front man this time around?
It's so weird. Yeah, it's like terrifying. For me, it's terrifying because I have always been a background vocalist. And I will never say that like I'm like fair to Midland at best as far as I'm concerned, you know, like, but I feel like I'm pretty competent. How about that? You know,
Yeah.
It's not my, it's definitely not my list of, real high achievements here, but it's like, you know, you're right. It is kind of like the big breakthrough into doing something on my own, and that has been kind of the thing about this project, is like I've been trying new things, and it's been really interesting trying to see like, okay, what works best for, you know, say my characteristic of voice and the instrumentation that I choose and stuff. So it's been really cool to be able to kind of figure that out too.
Right.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Well, this the stuff you've showed me so far, I guess maybe leans more pop. I feel like.
Yeah, so that's what I hear from everybody. You know, I hate this because it's like it's the worst. Yeah, I think we talked about it last time where Matt Bossler was saying he was joking around about if X had a baby with somebody else. You know, and it's like I think about that all the time, and I try not to. And I'm not going to say anybody had a baby with anybody right now.
Right.
But I will say that maybe I adopted some things from projects past. And this is definitely, I would say melodically, because I would say my voice doesn't lean towards the rock side. I don't have like a real edgy voice. So for me, it's a lot more comfortable to be doing kind of like a poppy singer-songwriter type vocal against sometimes like heavier-ish guitars, because that's what came from like the New Translation, City Avenue, and some of Gerald's and other projects I've been into. But
right.
I think like I said, though, it's been fun kind of like stacking all these things that I have done in the past and finding this new kind of sound for myself. I guess I would call it alternative pop rock.
Okay.
You know?
Right.
That's the best as I can describe it.
Yeah. I mean, that's what's kind of fun too, especially of starting a brand new project. There are no rules.
Yeah.
And especially if it's just you, essentially dude. You can, one track can be different from, you could have a pop, rock, country, whatever you want to, put in. Every track's completely different.
For sure.
Doesn't matter. I mean, that's what's fun about music today and everything else. Everybody's trying to figure it all out. Like what, obviously when you have a band, or you have to kind of fall in line with what, it's hard to change your direction as a band sometimes, but it's a lot easier when it's just you making the calls and as a solo artist. So
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah. I found it like sometimes being like, as a guy who has been like in the background situation, as being like even lead guitarist in groups, like there's some definitely pressure there, but like the pressure to make like the writing decisions and it just be final. Because I know for me in the past, if I was in a band or something, like I was having like definitely input into it, but like final call stuff was like band decision. It wasn't like one person necessarily. So for me to like make these like guillotine decisions, like that's gonna happen, I'm definitely like, I don't know, I'm doing my best not to be wishy-washy on it.
Right.
I'm doing my best to like really decide like this is gonna sound like this because I like it and it makes sense for this context or whatever. But yeah, it is also like, admittedly, any of the non-musical writing and performing stuff that goes along with being in a band and performing, which is like mind-boggling, and a lot of people don't know that, you know, when you're just, say that you're just like setting up social media or you're, you know, trying to get a gig, like there's like, you know, footwork and there's steps to be done to do that. I never really did that.
Right.
Like I was lazy. I was super lazy in the bands, and usually somebody else was like making the phone calls and doing this or that. So I know for me, it's been, yeah, it's like fun but challenging at the same time.
Right.
You know, it's just new for me, so I'm having fun with it.
It definitely seems like you know, doing enough of these with different bands, everybody has their role sort of in the band as
absolutely,
as the you know, some whatever, who's in charge of the merch and who's in charge of the social media and who's in you know, whatever, that different stuff. Everybody's kind of got their characteristics, or you know, different skill set leans towards you know, being able to manage certain aspects of it, and but yeah, now when it's just you got to do it all, and
you get to, but you also have to do it all. Right, yeah. So there's like definitely like, you know, double-edged sword on that, where you're like, you get to make all these decisions, but then again, you have to make these decisions. You know,
yeah, it's and that's another thing, like I think people kind of forget about, you know, especially as a solo artist doing these things, like it's a either you got to learn how to do it all or pay somebody to do it, because you got to learn how to, like, you know, graphic design and making posters and whatever, you know, t-shirt design and all the stuff like that. So either you figure it out how to do it yourself, or you had to, well, luckily I've been fortunate enough. I have a lot of really talented friends that do this much better than I do. So I lean on my friends a lot for things, but, and I'm sure you know, there's certain things that you call on others to help you out and stuff too. So
yeah, I've had some favors called for this project, and I'm sure like my closest friends for sure have gotten far too many demos, far too many like crudely recorded like motifs that I was like, could this be something? And they're like, dude, like it's like Monday at 5 a.m. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
But I do find the one thing that I have been really sad, like really happy with deciding to like say spend the money on. I've been working with Mike Bivens, and he has been essential in doing a few things. Right now, the way he's kind of running his model isn't necessarily just recording, mixing, and whatnot, but he's also figuring out like, okay, who are you as an artist? Where do you think that you could fit? You know, what are your goals? Like, he's kind of doing like a life coach thing along with it. And it's like, it's helped me out a lot, because whenever I started kind of going through all this, I didn't really know like what the end goal would be. But I knew I wanted to release some really sweet music. That's it. Like, that was kind of like where my head was at. So what he kind of implements is like kind of like some timelines on like when you should be releasing and stuff, like, because like, again, I had no idea. Been like the irresponsible band member for I don't know how long. So like I say, this is all new for me. And so anybody else in that kind of frame of mind, I would definitely recommend at least talking with him and, you know, seeing if you can work with him, because it's been really helpful for me to kind of just like establish what I'm going to do, when I'm going to do it, what my goal for that is going to be.
Yeah, man.
So
Yeah, Mike's a very talented guy, and actually helped me out big time, helping record the intro to this show. He created the beat and everything that Dubflow rapped on, so he's a part of every episode of this show. So
heck yeah, dude.
yeah, very talented man. So yeah, check out Michael Bivens, and where if you need some recording needs, he'll be able to take care of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, reach out to him.
Let's talk about your. This will be the debut single, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Somebody due out on January 1st, 2021.
Oh my gosh, crazy to hear 21.
Yeah, man, we're getting close.
We're almost there.
Yeah. So this will be, again, like I said, the debut single for Justin Carretta, and we'll hit your streaming everywhere on the 1st of January. And let's talk about this song, man. How this one kind of come together and
Somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody. Okay. So somebody so whenever I write a lot in my car when I'm just like by myself, and I'll just like sing random stuff to myself. And one of the lines that I did sing in the car as I was coming home, a lot of times it's from work, where I'm just like, oh, I'm so glad to fucking be off work. I was just like, and one of the things that I said was, if you want to be somebody. And I didn't know what it meant at first. I'm just kind of like trying to feel through it. And then I took it home and I was playing around with it. And then eventually, like, it became something, right? Like, I had a demo put up, and I actually went to Gerald. And we were going to track a different song that I had with him, which maybe I'll show you sometime, but it's nothing like this. Like, it's totally like, more like Somebody definitely hits more in the pop realm, like we were talking about. But, we started tracking it. And, as we were doing it, it was me, Al, my brother. If anybody doesn't know, I have a twin brother named Al. He looks just like me. Hence the twin thing.
All right.
But he plays bass, and he was tracking bass with me, and we were just kind of like feeling good about just like making some music, not really trying to take anything too seriously. But I felt like as that track started getting made, we started listening back to it, and I was like, dude, this could be something pretty spectacular. Like, we could make this really great. So we get through with tracking it and everything, and I actually did the vocal tracking at Gerald's house as well. The song really is like, it's, have you ever seen Step Brothers?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the song is basically about not losing your dinosaur.
Yeah.
That's basically what it comes down to. I mean, and it's like, it hits so close to home for me, because I know I don't want to say like I left the scene, because like I did my best to keep in touch with people, but life happens. Like, I got married, and I have 3 kids, and it's like, it's not the same kind of dream, but I still kind of have a dream to make some great music that people are going to enjoy. I want to make music where people are driving home from work and they're, singing at the top of their lungs. That is such an important thing for people in general, just to have for their freaking soul, So that's kind of what that song's, not kind of, it's what the song's about, It's,
I don't belong here. It's a matter of time before they find another way, and I don't know which to fear. The comfort in the cage, at it all. If you wanna be somebody, somebody. If you wanna be somebody, somebody. I can't keep losing sleep to dream of a That's where I'm living when I give it a try. If you wanna be somebody, somebody. If you wanna be somebody, somebody. If you wanna be somebody, if you wanted to be like somebody, if you wanted to be like somebody.
The first line of the song is "I don't belong here," and I think that everybody has felt that about something or somewhere.
All right.
So, yeah, you're all somebody. Fuck
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't lose your dinosaur.
Don't lose your dinosaur.
That's if you learned anything from this podcast. Learn that. Man, that's such a classic movie, but
It's my wife and I. It was our favorite movie.
right.
We quote it all the time.
It's we do too, me and my wife, and like it's for me like so perfect for my like teenage years and stuff, because my dad started date my parents split in 01, and my dad started dating this another lady named Laura, and I'd known her and her son Nick and Sally, her daughter, like all my life. We grew up together and stuff. So like, so there was a one point where it was me, Nick, and my brother Dustin, all three teenage boys sharing a bedroom, and we had bunk beds, and I was like, and there was some of the weirdest, funkiest smells coming out of that bedroom, and but you know, it was just like the whole. A lot of that stuff, like, you know, moving in, we weren't necessarily stepbrothers, but we were, you know, pretty close. You know, so might as well have been. We're practically related. So
the fart concentrations alone in a room full of boys,
right, yeah,
just in general, you know, I mean, there's plenty of other things, but just that one thing alone, could be the determining factor.
But so there's so many that like I just really connect to personally, having a brother and like that, and I'm sure you and Al, there was probably a lot of similarities too, and even just being, you know, biological brothers and stuff, not just step brothers, but you know, just so much you can connect to, and those guys played it off perfectly, you know, being teenage boys, and even though they're 40 years old and stuff. So,
dude, you know what's so weird about being a twin and just kind of like aging the same is we'll like see each other after like months, well, not months of not seeing each other, but months of not being able to like sit down and like just talk about nothing, which is really like the best stuff, is when you're just talking about the nothing. And it will come across where you're like, God, I've had this thing where like my knee does this pop, or like, you know, or like my hair is starting to go in this one spot. And he goes, dude, me too, you know? And it's funny because obviously, like, not just biologically, but genetically, we're so similar that, like, yeah, of course that's going to happen. But it is so nice to have somebody who almost has gone through the same thing that you have.
right.
And I think that, yeah, but he's still a turd.
Yep. He I haven't seen that turd in a while though. There was a point in time where I was seeing him all the time because he was in like every band in town.
Yeah, he's still with who is he with? How many? 6, 7, 8 now?
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up.
Brick Royal, Fivefold.
Which I guess both of them just putting out new music.
Yeah.
Fivefold just released a new song, and then Brooke Royal announced the other day that they're having a new single coming out.
No, he doesn't tell me. He likes to keep it a surprise.
Yeah, it's all top secret.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's so again, follow Justin on your Instagram and and
Justin
stuff.
I think, let me check the Justin James Carretta, I think, on Facebook, and then Instagram, my handle is just Justin J. Carretta. So check him out there, follow me, check it out. I'm gonna do my best to start posting more, but I usually update stories and stuff like that.
Sure. Yeah, we'll get I'm sure a lot of things will ramp up as starting the release of this.
Oh yeah, you're gonna see countdowns and
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
And you were telling me you were now on TikTok, huh? You posted your first
God,
TikTok?
dude, I made my first TikTok today, and is it okay to say that it was a good one? I think it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
I haven't seen it yet. I don't know.
Well, are you on TikTok?
No. I did download TikTok just to watch Matt Bosler's videos.
Dude, I love those.
His, Brantley Gilbert cover and stuff.
It's so good.
So I really, I downloaded and I got bored and deleted it. And but
It's such a weird app because it feels so anonymous as you're swiping through.
Yeah.
There's something about it that feels more anonymous. It's very strange.
Huh.
I don't know.
yeah, I never got into it. I besides watching, I strictly went to watch Matt's videos and stuff
Yeah.
and laugh.
Yeah, I'm sure you saw the recent one where he was, I don't know what liquid it was, but he was spewing liquid out of his nipple.
Yeah, he posted it on Facebook too, but yeah, it looks like a bottle of Coke or something.
It's just excellent, dude.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely excellent.
One where his nipple kept falling down.
It's so good.
I don't,
I mean, it's the purest form of content as far as I'm concerned.
he said that,
With a covered version of a Brantley Gilbert
Right.
song.
he said that one got like over 1 million views and stuff. So that's
Good.
it's crazy that some of the traction that he gets on some of that. But
That's good.
yeah, he's a lot of fun, man. He makes me laugh all the time. I probably shouldn't talk about him because he'll hear this.
He's a competitor, though. You know.
Yeah.
He's never asked me on his podcast, but I mean that's why you're here. You know, that's. Yeah.
That's why I'm the best, man.
That's right.
I get guests like Justin Carretta.
Number
on
one
here.
podcast.
Yeah. He called me out the other day. I don't know if you saw that.
No, what did he do?
He said he just wants to beat me and make me cry a little bit and stuff. He just wants to be better than my podcast. And so it was pretty fun.
Yeah, he just wants just a taste of the victory.
Yeah,
That's all.
right. I don't know. It's fun. I'm glad we have this rivalry going. It keeps it entertaining.
Yeah.
He said something the other day about that. He went on the Grand Canyon and stuff, looking and on vacation and looking for inspiration and stuff, and then he's like and saying something, but like basically saying that listening to my show motivated him to keep his podcast going. And I was like, I'm so glad I could be your motivation and stuff. Like, it wasn't the Grand Canyon and all this stuff, and it was his hate for me, and it drives him to keep pushing. Yeah, right. So it's I'm glad I could be that for you. So.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, man.
Just funny, man.
Yeah, pretty silly. Well, we just had Thanksgiving. How was your Thanksgiving at the Carretta house?
It was good, man.
You keep it pretty low key this year.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody has,
Yeah.
Yeah, we just stuffed our faces. I got a first time ever we bought a turkey from somewhere. We bought it from Beast Craft Barbecue.
All right.
Well, I guess it's not Craft Barbecue. It's just the one in Belleville. But I've been to both. I don't know if you've been to either of those
I
before.
don't think I've been to Beast.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So good, man. That's one of my favorite places. They do these like deep fried Brussels sprouts with pork belly in them.
All right.
That's my jam. That is absolutely my jam.
Yeah.
Dude, I could eat an entire bucket full of those. But they had smoked turkeys for Thanksgiving, so we picked up one of those and did all kind of. We just went like as basic with the stuff as you possibly can, with like all the actual sides and stuff. But dude, I don't know if I've ever stuffed my face as much as I did. It was funny. We had plates set up at the table. My wife decided to just like set it up all nice and whatnot. We don't have fine china, but we have like these like I don't know if it's Fiesta. It's something like decently fancy plates that we got out for this just because. And there's a regular dinner plate and then a salad plate, but we didn't have any salad, so we ended up just filling our dinner plates and the salad plate with food and brought it back to the table. So we're just sitting there with like an obnoxious amount of food.
Right.
First sitting, you know, like, and I went back for seconds and just like decided to feel sick, and it was great. It was so great.
That's what it's all about,
Yeah.
man. I saw a great like Jim Gaffigan quote like that how why Thanksgiving's the best, and he's like, because that's all we do is a holiday where we just eat. Okay, yeah. He's like, yeah, but we do that every day. Yeah, but we do it with people that we don't that annoy us and stuff. And like, you know, so
Yeah.
but yeah, like it's what's your go-to side dish? You a mashed potato guy or green bean casserole?
I'll eat the mashed potato. Definitely not green bean casserole. Like that can go right out the window as far as I'm concerned, dude. Any cream of anything, and I'm out. Please no. I said no for me. I'll go mashed potatoes. I like the sweet potato stuff usually. I'm not a huge fan of like the homemade cranberry sauce. I love the canned stuff though. Like since I was a kid, like that, I would eat half the can whenever I was a kid. So that's definitely going to be on my plate. Mac and cheese. Stuffing.
I was went to my cousin's house, and there was just a few of us over there, and they had the cranberry sauce out, and her little one was like, "What is that?" And she go, and we said it was the heart of the turkey.
Oh no!
And so like, so I'm pretty sure we probably scarred that kid for it. You know, like I don't ever want to eat that.
Oh man, that's funny.
That's the best part about. Being involved with little ones, you can just kind of tell them anything and they'll believe it.
Yeah. You gotta be careful with that too.
Right.
I saw a video of some little kid was helping his mom get the turkey ready, and he started pulling out like all the the bagged gizzard or whatever it is, and then he pulled the neck out, and he's like, "This is is this?" And he's like trying to like put it together in his head, and he goes, "That's not, is it?" And he's like putting it like where. The genitals would be right. And he's like, is it and the mom's like, well, if it is, put it down. And he's like, I just can't. And he's like just inspecting this thing like nobody's business. But yeah, it was pretty funny. He didn't believe her that it was the neck for a while too. He was just like, it's not. He was definitely said this was a boy turkey. Yeah, exactly. I saw that. It was pretty good. But it did make me laugh that he was like so grossed out by it and like gagging, but he wouldn't put it down. He wouldn't put it down. Yeah, I noticed that. Right. That was funny. I made like 5 pounds of mashed potatoes. I saw the picture.
Yeah, man. So
you're a skin on man.
I did like half Yukon, half Rosette potatoes. Nice. And then I just left the skin on there for the half. And it was it works out. Like I don't necessarily sometimes I peel them, sometimes I don't. But
we peeled them this year. I had my oldest peel them. Yeah. Well, he was working on it. I was helping him for sure. All right. The dexterity's not quite there yet. Yeah. We have really crappy peelers too. And I was trying to convince my wife. I was like, just do it with the skins on. It'll be good. That's where all the vitamins are. You know? Yeah. Don't make me peel all these. And she's like, no, gotta peel them. But her mashed potatoes turned out excellent. So she like maybe take a bite of them. And I'm like, don't do anything to them. They're perfect. All right. She's like, I know. I just wanted you to try it. So it was good. Yeah. I mean, ever since I was a kid, like that's been my thing. Like I remember we'd have. Speaking of, I was telling you a story about living over there at Laura's house, and there was like, I don't think it was like Thanksgiving or holiday or anything, but she made a big old dinner, and then like nobody showed up, like kind of thing. It was one of those days like where
everybody ended up having something going on, and like,
Right.
you know, we were all running in all kinds of different directions. But I happened to show up, and like it was like this massive bowl of mashed
You're
potatoes.
like, all this for me.
Yeah, I'm like just sitting there like eating like a 5-pound thing of mashed potatoes, like
That's funny,
with a
dude.
spoon, and like so. I was like, man, I'll definitely chow down on some mashed potatoes.
We definitely had too much food this year. We like made enough for like to have guests, you know, it was just us.
Right.
So it's like, you know, we were still working on it today. You know, I'm like eating a piece of pie in the afternoon for no reason because I'm like, it's going to go bad. So
All right.
might as well, you know.
What's your go-to dessert?
I love pumpkin pie.
Yeah?
Yeah, I will eat a whole one.
With Cool Whip, or are you?
So I'll eat it with the Cool Whip, but I prefer like the whip topping.
All right.
Yeah, like the whatever generic Cool Whip, not Cool Whip. It's the spray can. What Ready
like
Whip?
Ready Whip stuff? Yeah,
I'm an Aldi shopper,
Right.
so I get the whipped topping.
there you go.
Yeah. Always looking for a bargain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. There's like, it's funny how like we are so divided over simplest things as
what pie?
What
kind of pie?
What kind of pie and what kind of whip topping you're putting on it and stuff. But I don't know. I feel I lean more towards the Cool Whip style, compared to the spraying out of a can. So
Yeah, in the past I've had family members like make the homemade kind of whipped.
yeah,
Like kind of like the Cool Whip, but homemade. I don't know how you make it. It's magic to me. It's just like, you know, tasty, sugary
Sure.
white fluff. Like
Right.
fantastic. Just put it on my pie already. Like, but if there's a spray can, I'm going spray can.
Yeah.
Dude, what is the most disappointing probably thing in the world? And it just happened to me today. Luckily, we had a second can ready to go. But you get out the first can and you start shaking it up and you're like, oh, there's something in here. And you do it right. You gotta have the right technique and stuff.
Yep.
But then it just fucking spits onto your pie and you're like, this slice is ruined.
right.
What am I gonna do? I can't throw it away. So, but luckily I had an extra can of whipped topping.
Always have
Ready to
an
go.
extra can of whip topping.
This is definitely some life advice. If you're gonna keep it in the fridge, have two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stacy bought like a 4-pack one time at like Sam's or something like that.
Gotcha,
whatever.
yeah.
And I'm like, when are we ever going to use 4 cans of Ready Whip and stuff? And
You use it though.
but yeah,
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, man.
You find things to use it on.
Yeah.
You're making breakfast. You're like, well, I'll just put it on my pancakes. Why not?
Right.
This isn't IHOP, but
Yeah.
you can pretend.
Just make a smiley.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a pumpkin pie guy. I do enjoy like baking. I try challenging myself to try baking new desserts and
Yeah.
trying new recipes and different things around the holidays. I don't do a lot of. I cook at the house, but I don't do like big, baking like that unless it's like for friends and family and typically around the holidays, stuff like this. So, but it's fun, man. I enjoy like make like a cheesecake or something from scratch, or I do a really good carrot cake.
I love a good carrot cake, man. That's a move.
It's so good, but man, like making it, like you realize
It's a pain in the ass.
it's awful for you. Also,
Oh, really?
yeah. I mean, like
I've never made one.
I do this cream cheese frosting for it,
Oh, okay. I see now.
and it's like 2 packs of cream cheese, a whole pound of powdered sugar. There's 2 cups of sugar.
Anytime the recipe calls for a whole pound of anything, it's
right.
like, all right, there's a red flag here.
It's a stick of butter in the mix, 2 cups. I mean, it's like, it's definitely not healthy at all, but
Yeah.
it's delicious, and that's all that matters. So, but yeah, it's
Yeah, but
killing.
it's so
man.
good.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what makes it so good.
Yeah, yeah. Just don't, like I said, don't look too far into it. Just eat it and
Yeah.
and be glad you did.
Yeah, you get the one day to just be off the rails,
Yeah. Yeah.
Just kill it. Just,
Well, Christmas too, or whatever. You got
True.
in a month later, we'll celebrate again.
so far, it's been the entire weekend for me, so
Right,
I
yeah.
can't say.
I told everybody I took a week off from work, and I'm like 12 days straight Thanksgiving leftovers and pie.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. That's all it is. Man.
I think luckily we're almost out of pie, so otherwise I would just be
I have to go back to the store and clearance pie. Is there any? Do you have any traditions you guys do as anything?
not Thanksgiving wise. I
Yeah.
don't think.
No,
No, I don't think so.
right.
No, just like the normal stuff. Hang
Yeah.
out with family, play games.
We do. my uncle's big on, which not rare. I think there's a lot of families do, but planes, trains, and automobiles.
Oh yeah, man.
He plays that every year for the family, and that's a classic.
I didn't even think about that, but usually when we go over to my wife's grandparents' house, it's usually like in the flip. Everybody's got like 4 channels they're flipping through or whatever. Like that's like while whatever football game isn't playing, that'll come on or whatever.
Yeah,
but which I have no interest in. I don't watch sports at all.
Yeah,
I'm like, put it back on. It's John Candy, man.
Yeah,
come on.
That movie's.
I love that movie.
It's so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Classic John Candy and Steve Martin. Those guys on the top of their game in that movie. I just watched Home Alone, and he's got a small part in that, but he's his character in that movie makes me laugh too. John Candy.
Yes.
Going on and on about the polka and stuff.
I love it. I'm a clarinet player myself, so it's very satisfying to watch.
Yeah. I just thought maybe you might have heard of us, and just
right.
desperately trying to get her approval.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's was that started in middle school clarinet?
Grade school. Fifth grade. Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of like the intro to everything. I've got one right there. My sister just bought me one last year for Christmas. She's a music teacher, so she found like some old, like decent clarinet and had it fixed up and gave it to me for Christmas. Probably one of the like most thoughtful gifts ever. Because whenever I joined up with the New Translation, I actually ended up selling a really nice one. It was like, I don't know, it was somewhere in the $1,000-something range, and I was like, kind of, I hope this guitar stuff works out, and
right.
Anyways, I started at 5th grade, I believe, and played through a little bit of college, but then ended up leaving college and doing the band thing. So
we're gonna get any clarinet solo on this these tracks?
Not on these, but I think that in the future I'll try to implement. Maybe adding it as like some kind of a texture. I don't think anybody really wants a ripping clarinet solo. If you do, let me know.
Right.
I'll do my best, but it's been a really long time, so I can play it for sure. But I think the last time that I was able to like do it for longer than 30 minutes, my mouth, it's called an embouchure, the way that your mouth actually goes around the instrument. My mouth was like so sore instantly because it's just, you have to like work that muscle all the time. So yeah, definitely like one of those things where like you go back in time whenever I do it, I kind of like go back to those days, and it's cool.
Yeah. I work in an elementary, and they are kind of just getting introduced to a lot of it, doing every day I walk down the hall, I can hear from the music class they're doing recorders, and like it just sounds like a bunch of them like squeezing those like fake chickens, and there's that squawking noise and stuff. Like
they'll get better.
Yeah, but it's like, man, that's like you got.
You have to be so patient.
There's a lot of patience involved in being an elementary music teacher.
Oh my gosh, dude. So. Yeah, definitely. My sister's got like all the patience in the world. I do not have it. That's a big reason why I stopped doing it. I was actually in school for music education as well.
Okay.
And I was like, I can't do it, man.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think I think I could do it now that I'm like an actual adult. But whenever I was, I was 20, 21, and I was like not ready. I don't think I was ready to take on as much responsibility as the rest of my colleagues.
It is kind of a weird, the whole system it's very strange. It's like you're 18, you graduate, and then like, all right, figure out what you're going to be for the rest of your life kind of thing. It's like it's very very strange.
We definitely have a weird setup here. I do wish that it was normalized for you to responsibly find a good path for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Yeah, because I don't necessarily have like, the dream job right now, but it's like a lot of people will go to school and like feel it's their dream job, and when they get in it, they're in there 5 years and they're like, well, I don't think this is for me,
Right.
And that's kind of what I was fearing, because like all through high school I was like so dead set on that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. If I want a career in music, that's what I got to do. And then I get in there and I'm like doing all the stuff. I'm a real good kid or whatever you want to say, ish, you know. I have my faults. Everybody does.
Right.
But, you know, as I was going through it, I kind of lost some perspective on why I wanted to do it. You know, I was just doing it because that's what everybody said you had to do that, you know.
Yeah.
In retrospect, I was listening. I listened to the Story of the Year podcast, and they were talking about kind of like the way that they broke in and stuff into the scene, and what they had to do from the start was uproot their whole lives, you know, essentially.
Right.
And there's a fair amount of needing some kind of a jump off point, and I was being like super safe by doing that. And then as I was doing it, I kind of realized like, I don't think I want to do this. So I ended up leaving, you know, which was that's the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
Truly, yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of similar. Like I was going into school, college stuff. Like I was really like kept thinking I wanted to go into the education also, and you know, I didn't know exactly where I wanted to land, but I thought it would be fun to be a teacher and a coach and all that kind of stuff. And I was working construction right after school. And I was trying to go to night school, and I was like falling asleep in class because I'm exhausted. And then so I was like, well, I'll go switch to school during the day and then work at night. And that was 16 years ago, and haven't been back to class yet. So it just you know.
At the end of the day, like if you want to do something, you got to really want to do it, right? Like you have to like really put some effort into these wild kind of things.
Yeah.
You know.
But that's like I'm kind of like at the time I listened to music and would go to shows, but I wasn't nearly as passionate about it as I am today. And
right.
but I really like, you know, between this podcast and everything else, like I'd love to make this music somehow make it a career of mine. You know, just like a lot of people have that dream, but like I think it'd be fun to maybe open a venue or do something like that when, you know, whenever everything comes back around, because right now it's, you know, in the pits, but you know, it's just like
I'd play at your venue, Shane.
Yeah, man.
I would definitely come there and be like, hey man, I don't even want drink tickets.
Yeah,
I just want to play.
Right. But I just I have this crazy dream, and I think it'd be a lot of fun to do that someday. But you know, at the time at 18, again, like I was saying, like I had no idea what I wanted to do. I still don't really know what I want to do when I grow up. But
yeah, I think everybody kind of, and I think everybody's a little different, right? I don't think that I really became an adult until I was like 24, 25.
Right.
Yeah. When your hangovers matter, that's when you become an adult.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I guess. I don't know. It was for me at least, when I was just like, oh, what am I doing? Like, I gotta do things, and I got laundry. And,
right.
You know, you just start like, I don't know. You just kind of grow into being an adult.
Yep.
And I think, you know, with this kind of thing, like you get to feel like a kid at some point, right? You get to play, and with this, I get to create my own sandbox and invite friends to play in it. You know?
Man.
And that's kind of how I feel about it. You know.
Yep.
That's that whole dinosaur thing. Like, I didn't want to lose my dinosaur.
Definitely. Well, let's drop in another track. This is a live take on an upcoming release, and this one's called "This One's for You."
Correct.
And this is just you down here in the basement, right?
Right down here in the little dungeon.
Yeah.
I remember the house on Military Street, and I remember where we used to laugh and sing, and every other day was a perfect day with a skylit view over the bay. I remember the ranch where we searched the days for rocks, and I remember playing in the thickest, greenest plots. Times at the lake I will never forget, by the 4-car garage with the basketball net. And I know he's gone, but don't cry long. I'll be right here when you need me. When something's wrong, and I'll sing your song just like you did for me. And can't you see, this one's for you, and this one's for you. I remember the house at 401 Goheen, and I remember playing with that stray we named Maggie. And Minnie Ha-Ha was as lazy as she gets, about the time of solitary regret. And I know he's gone, but don't cry long. I'll be right here when you need me. When something's wrong, and I'll sing your song just like you did for me. And can't you see, this one's for you, this one's for you, this one's for you. Something's wrong, you know I'll sing your song just like you did for me, just like you did for me. And can't you see, this one's for you.
What would you like to share around this particular track?
Oh man, I'm gonna try to talk about it without like crying a little bit. This one's for you. I wrote back whenever I was a dumb kid and when I was like 20 and 21. In 2008, my dad passed away, and it was sudden, and it was really difficult. But it was a big reason why I left college too. Like, I just wasn't doing well with it, honestly. But the song is, the verses are all the places that I grew up, or a few of them at least, a select few. They're very memorable places to me. And the songs, this one's for you. It's for my mom. It was a really difficult time for her. It was actually a project. This song was a project in college. We had to write a song. Didn't have to be anything. And like, as I was doing it, I'm like kind of getting this flood of inspiration through my emotions at the time, and this is kind of what came out. I think that I wasn't ready to kind of perform or let this one go for a really long time, and I'm kind of ready to share it. Yeah. I've held this one very close to me, and I've held it very precious for a long time. But I had to keep reminding myself, like, I wrote this so that hopefully she can see how much she means to me by everybody else seeing it and sharing it, Yeah, man. Instead of just her having it, I want other people to hear it too and see that.
Yeah. That's beautiful, man. And I kind of been. I lost my mom last year. December 3rd will be 1 year, and I don't know. I've been like, there's a lot going on in my head. Saying, I'm sure it's a lot of what kind of probably came out in this song too. But I'm right there with you, like where it's like I'd like to write something to kind of capture these, this moment and stuff. Kind of get these thoughts out, and I feel like there's something there. There's but I'm not the best songwriter. I've never been a songwriter, so but I'm a big fan, and I think there's something. If I sat down and actually applied myself, maybe I could write that song and stuff. But I think that would also, like you're saying, just kind of get that out and release it to everybody, and I think it would be therapeutic to kind of quit holding on to all this stuff. And so
it was for me. Whenever I wrote it, it was definitely like just for me. For a while,
right?
And I, of course, like I showed my mom and I showed my brother and close family members, and there's a select few that like I work with musically that have known about the song. But yeah, this would, for it being written for so long. I think it's just time. I'm ready to kind of. Let that start kind of going,
right?
Kind of let that proverbial, not pigeon, a dove,
right.
something go, and just kind of let the balloon go for a little bit.
Yeah, man.
But yeah,
is that what we the live version you did is pretty close to what we might hear on the record, or are you doing
that one actually might not
might not make
get
it.
tracked.
Yeah.
That might be the finished product of that song.
All right.
I'm not sure yet. Yeah. With that one, like, I want to be real careful about how the instrumentation goes on it. I have a few. I know the song isn't. I'm not keeping it precious, but the people who play on it will be.
Yeah.
I've got a few friends who played on that track when I initially recorded it back in. Oh gosh, 2009 or 2010 or whatever it was.
Right.
And I would love for them to kind of share that experience. And there are a couple of, have and will always be some of my closest friends.
Yeah.
And
I think
very special kind of. I want that to be really, really special and a really special thing for us to share in the studio together. So I got to wait for that to like, we're all fucking adults now. So I got to like find time to like be like, hey, can you come at this date? And
I'm sure all of them will make the time to do that for you.
Yeah, I just got to plan that out.
Right. But I feel like, especially being that it is as personal and everything that means so much to you and your family, I think it would be only right to give it the proper treatment and to make it the best it can be and stuff, man, to really bring that song to life and stuff. So
yeah, man.
So hopefully we'll get that out. Like I said, you have the single dropping and starting off 2021, and you said you're planning to maybe every so many weeks you're gonna be dropping another singles throughout the year.
Keep an eye out. It'll be pretty normal speed. My hope is that I'll be able to give everybody as much free content as I possibly can. What that means, I'm not quite sure yet, because it'll be a bit of a learning curve. I've kind of had some stuff, clearly like these songs I've had kind of ready to go. So we're working on two of the tunes are actually finished, and I have a couple more that me and Mike are still working on, but they should be finished well in time to be able to release them in a decent period. I think probably like an 8-week probably stint between the tracks, and then I don't know, maybe some more live from the dungeon in between. We'll see. Just depends. I've got a few things kind of brewing that might make that cut. So
is this your like first take at really like songwriting, or did you lend a lot of lyrics to the bands and stuff too, or? Yeah,
this is kind of my first run. This is but as far as the writing process goes, like really the way that I've been doing it, it's like all the guitar parts are me, all the lyrics are me, the vocals are me, melodies are me. What I will do though is I have some people have yes men. I have no men. And two, clearly like these guys, I favorite them, but that's because they're both turds. Gerald Dusek, go check out Gerald Dusek and his latest release last October, Rivers. It's so good.
Yeah, man.
I can't believe I'm friends with that guy. He's such a talented dude. Go stream his stuff. But I'll go to him and I'll go to Al, and Al's okay. I'll go check out his stuff. He's in everybody's band.
Yeah.
I'll throw them stuff, and I'm not really ever looking for a that's great. I'm looking for the I don't know about that, you know. And they provide that for me. So I'm lucky to be able to have some people. I consider them kind of my team as far as that goes, and Mike clearly too, right? Like I work with him, and I trust his judgment on everything too.
Yeah, I've been trying to get better at that. Like, I'm genuinely a fan, you know, like of a lot of people and a lot of music. But so like, there's a lot of that to where like I am truthful. Like, yeah, like I like this, but like I've been trying to be better at being, you know, critiquing and saying certain things that I feel that could be better and
Sure.
stuff to contribute to the but like I do have a lot of friends.
It's so hard. If I would never want to do that for anybody who I wasn't like super close with,
Right.
and like those guys, they're, you know, everybody has a group text that gets really out of hand,
Right.
and those are my guys who that happens.
Yep.
So you gotta have to have that like kinship where like, you know, they know they're not gonna hurt my feelings, and I've said that to Al. Al knows that for sure, and that's important to me. I've said to him, I'm like, hey dude, if this is shit, you have to tell me.
Right.
You know, like, and it's important because like you can get kind of blind to what you're doing and like get. Mike actually said this the other day. I was like, God, that's brilliant. You get demo-itis.
Yeah.
Demo-itis. And I had never heard it said like that before. And maybe everybody says it. I don't know. But I thought it was spot on to like sometimes how I get where like, you know, I'll demo something out down here and I'll listen to it a bunch. Probably more than I should. And with those listens, it'll solidify an idea that might not be a finished idea. And then I'll be kind of stuck with that. So I'm figuring out like how to be fluid and obviously like as you're writing and going to the studio and stuff, you have to be pliable to be able to make something that's really good that not just you but others are going to enjoy listening to. And at the end of the day, man, like, yeah, I'm writing music because I enjoy writing music, but I'm writing music so people can listen to it and have a better day.
Yeah.
I want other people to feel good. You know, that's, I don't know. That's why I do it.
Sure.
Maybe other people don't, but that's why I do it. I want us to all, I like a good kumbaya moment. And like, that's it, man. I like it when we're all on the same page, and music for me does that.
Yeah.
Music does that.
Yeah. I'm with you. Like there was so many, like, I mean, obviously it's a mood enhancer for everything, you know, but some days it's, you know, I need that moment to make me cry or something. And sometimes I need that, you know, the song to get me amped up. And then, you know, so it's just like,
yeah, man,
they're just enhancers in various ways. So,
yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah. I got a couple of questions for you, Justin.
Oh God, they're prepared questions. Now they're serious now.
Yeah. Well, these, I don't know. I've been having fun with these. Like they're all, but I've been asking everybody, so it's fun to see where their answers go.
Okay.
What's a song that always gets stuck in your head?
That's a good question. Like lately or all the time, you think?
I mean, whatever. If you want to go lately, if, like what's something you woke up singing recently or something?
All right. Here's one that's like obscure and probably only the dads will hear it. My middle son, he likes anything mystical or magic. So he watches this show called Elena of Avalar, I think is what it is. And he has this like it's like a staff or something that like it plays music on it. So one of the theme songs to that show plays. So I literally woke up this morning hearing that.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not bad. I gotta say, it's not bad. It's not bad, dude. Whoever the music director is on that show, they're doing it.
Right.
They're doing it right, dude. They're doing it right.
Yeah. Some of that stuff, I mean, obviously it's they know what they're doing. It gets catchy, it gets stuck in your head.
Yeah.
You know, it's different things, and so especially TV theme songs. I mean, man, there's so many of them.
Yeah.
I just well, it's a little different now, but it brought me right back. But I just recently watched. There's a new reboot of Saved by the Bell, and they I don't know if you caught.
No, I never caught that.
Caught this yet, but it's on.
I've heard all the Screech drama.
Yeah. I mean, but so they brought back the show. It's and it has like Zach and Kelly, Slater and blanking on her name now.
I'm gonna be no help. I'm sorry.
Elizabeth, whatever. Anyway,
the other one.
Yeah, Jesse. Yeah.
There you go.
So it has those four the main characters back, but they're like they're all adults now, and like Slater is like the athletic director at this high school at Bayside. Jesse's like the guidance counselor. Zach is the mayor, I think, or governor over in California, and he's married to Kelly.
Gotcha.
So anyway, it's just interesting, like, and their kid, Kelly and Zach's kid, goes to Bayside and all this stuff, and so but they redid the theme song for the show, and I don't know how I feel about it. Like I'm so attached to the original. It's hard to listen to a remake of it, but
yeah, but it's a different thing, man.
Right? Yeah.
If a new Seinfeld, not a new episode of Seinfeld, but a new Seinfeld came on,
Right.
You got to know that they're going to change that song.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It was but it was like it was fun and nostalgic type of way, like to see these characters 30 years later now and stuff. And so I haven't watched the whole thing. I watched just the first episode, but it's more dramatic than I think more than comedy compared to what the original was. But
is it still like the laugh track kind of thing going on?
No, not really.
That's probably why they got to go drama now, because if they make a joke and there's no laugh track, what is there?
Yeah,
it's just.
But it's fun, like especially like just like there's definitely a lot of jokes, like callbacks to the original series and stuff. So
that's fun.
Yeah, so there's a lot of that kind of stuff. But anyway, I also rebooted, or not rebooted, but did a reunion. Sorry, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, I didn't watch that yet.
And I watched that and I enjoyed that. It was pretty good. I watched that just the other day.
The only thing that I've been getting into is The Boys.
Okay.
On Amazon.
Yeah.
That's about like basically superheroes if it was in say like 2020.
Right.
Like in like real deal, like that's a messed up show, man.
Yeah.
It is brutal. But it's so good. So I keep watching it.
Yeah.
And Mandalorian. I know everybody's watching it, so
yeah.
But I've been a Star Wars fan since I was a little kid, so
sure.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of action figures and superheroes and thing, what if you had a pull string? What would your pull string say?
What would it say?
Yeah, if you had there was a Justin Carretta action figure, you have is there anything you find yourself saying over and over? You think?
I don't know. Probably shit. Realistically,
right.
Yeah, probably shit or
I've talked about it on here, but my buddy Ryan, he pointed out that, and I was aware, but like you just kind of forget about it until somebody points it out to you. But I say, "Hey, everybody," starting the show every time, and so like he's So he started doing a Shane impression, just like exaggerating that, like, "Hey everybody," and like, so that would probably be my pull string.
Your pull string.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like a phrase that I say all the time.
Yeah.
There's I don't watch New Girl, but my wife does, and there's one scene in there where one of the guys was explaining to somebody like what happened to his girlfriend. Like he was trying to make excuses of why he wasn't with her anymore. It's like, nah, she died. And they're like, well, what happened? And he goes, she got squished. And like, so a lot of times somebody will do something or say something and they're like, well, what happened? And my wife and I'll look at each other and just say, she got squished. So maybe that's what it'll say.
Yeah.
My pull string will just be, she got squished.
There it is, man.
I don't know, Tommy Boy quotes too.
Oh, man, go all day on Tommy Boy. I watched that movie like over and over. We had HBO at the time, and like we had satellite, so it was like East and West or whatever HBO, and so like I'd catch it at this time, and then I'd watch it again like an hour later.
Weren't those times the best and the worst?
Yeah, right.
Where like everything was playing all at once, but
Right.
you just had to catch it. Like that's when like the top of the hour mattered.
Yeah,
Like in a world where like you couldn't just stop and start stuff.
you know, but
Like
yeah, that-
pre-TiVo.
sure.
Fucking people that even know what TiVo is anymore.
Yeah.
God, I feel old.
What's your strangest fear, Justin? Do you have any
Strangest fear?
fears?
Dude, okay. Probably bears. It's not strange, but like it's really like it's not a logical fear. Like we go backpacking sometimes, my wife and I and my friends, like we'll go on just trips. And like I will legit get like so much anxiety about like whether or not a bear's just gonna like paw through the fucking tent and just rip us apart. And I'm like, and it's so stupid because like, you know, I bring bear spray and like we prepare, we hang the food, we do all that. But dude, I have such a fucking crazy fear about bears.
All right.
It's so stupid.
Would you watch like Grizzly Man or something, or what?
I did watch Grizzly Man. Shouldn't have.
Yeah, that one will do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I'm not hanging out with bears.
Right.
Dude, he hung out with bears and didn't get eaten the first time.
Yeah.
You know?
That shit was crazy though. Like, I remember watching that and I was just like, this is bad news all over, man. And like, and then,
You started and you're like, this is
Yeah.
not going to end well.
Right.
Like, this is not a happy ending story. Like, they don't become friends.
Yeah.
Like,
but yeah, that was it was a crazy story, man. I don't know how that. But yeah.
say bears.
Yeah. But that's like I feel like that movie probably a similar effect like Jaws, you know, for people.
Dude, but you are so much more, you're so much more likely to get eaten by a shark.
Yeah.
Crazy as that, and I grew up Al and I grew up in California, so it's like, but as kids, you weren't thinking about that. You were just like, oh, it's just a beach. Like, you
Yeah.
know, it's just hanging out in the sand and like you're going in the water. Little did we know, it's like, yeah, that was like the worst place to be. Like
Right.
in the Bay Area, apparently was like really bad for a while.
Yeah.
But luckily, we have all of our feet and
Yeah.
everything. You know, like
Yeah.
we made it out.
What's a dream duet or collaboration you'd like to see for yourself?
See or do with somebody.
I mean, yeah, for yourself. Like, what would like?
Who would I like to play with?
Right.
Oh, John Mayer for sure. Yeah, I'm a huge John Mayer fan.
Like what era, John Mayer?
I like them all.
All of it?
Yeah, it's just John Mayer. That's my wife and I's first date. We
right.
got to meet him actually.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, it was pretty rad. Yeah.
Because it's crazy that guy's career. You know, just like he's done it all pretty much. Like, you know.
Yeah, I if you look through his catalog, it's like so extensive, and it's not like super different. Like at the end of the day, he's just an excellent songwriter, just like absolutely excellent songwriting. To play with him, like what era? That's a good question. Probably the Battle Studies.
Yeah.
Battle Studies. I don't know if you know that record or not, but it was the that's whenever he released Who Says
Right.
and Heartbreak Warfare. Those were, I think, the two big ones. And then he did a song with Taylor Swift on that album. That's when I think they were dating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our friend Gabe Stroop does like these dream matchups.
Yeah, I've seen those, dude.
His wrestling videos.
Dude, he's so good at that.
Yeah.
It's like crazy how good he is at that.
But I was just thinking of like different eras of Mayer, because he on one of the recent videos he just did with ATG, also a special guest on there. They did original Undertaker, classic early '90s versus American Badass Undertaker versus the Phenom Undertaker, and like so it was pretty interesting to see who would win in the three Undertakers, fighting in the same ring and stuff. So it's kind of funny to think about the different eras of John Mayer, who, so.
Yeah. I mean, he's had it's just such a long span of time.
Right.
I think that's important too, because especially this day and age, we expect these people and these public figures to be the same person their whole lives.
Right.
Like, you can't expect that. Like, people change.
Sure.
For the better or worse. Like, or generally for better, right? Like,
yeah.
That's usually how time goes. Usually people get better as time. If you're learning, you're getting better. Like,
right.
I think it's important.
Yeah.
I thought about that for a minute whenever we were talking about that, because I was thinking like, man, I would not want to hang out with like fresh out of Berkeley John Mayer. Like, he sounds like an asshole.
Right.
Like I don't think I want to hang out with him. But I think that he would tolerate somebody like later on in his career. But yeah, I mean, and now like I know I've seen him like in interviews and stuff, and he seems like a totally different person. And it's because he fucking is. He's like, I think he's like been doing it for like 20 years.
Right.
Yeah, that's 20 years. Like, let's hang out in 20 years and see how different we fucking are. You know, I mean, that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah.
That is kind of the fun, and maybe the bad part about it, some of it, but like, especially putting all this stuff on a recording and stuff, it's kind of fun that we can go back and revisit this in 20 years and realize, man, why did I say that dumb stuff or whatever,
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's plenty.
Yeah, and
I'm sure there's plenty I've said.
But it is fun too to monitor the growth, like you're saying.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I mean, even when I started this show, like 6 years ago and stuff, it's like I can already see a giant difference compared to, even who I am as a person, but as a broadcaster and stuff, like, and the same thing as you guys as musicians, you're going to constantly improve your skills and stuff. And so you compared to maybe listening to City Avenue or New Translation recordings or something,
Absolutely. There's definitely flavors of that in some of this stuff, because there is some rock guitar elements, but generally, like we were saying when we started, like it is definitely more on the pop side of that stuff. It's I'm kind of like really dreading figuring out how to do it live, to be completely honest, because like it's just not in my wheelhouse. So it's going to be a learning curve there too. But I'm excited for it too. I think that's what motivates me, is that like the excitement of the new. Yeah,
definitely, man. What's a song you wish you wrote? Is there any certain
that's a good
something
question.
coming to mind? Any of them like you connect to that feel like they're telling your story or anything like that? Or there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, Rich Kid Blues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's that one?
I think it was a cover. The only version of it that I know is the Raconteurs version.
Okay.
The verse on it goes, "Been having bad times and I've been paying dues. I've got shoes and money and good friends too. Always play to win, always seem to lose. That's why I've got Rich Kid Blues."
There you go.
And it's like, well, shit. Okay. Like, I wish I would have written that for sure. My funny you say ask that question, because it's probably the thing I think about most whenever I'm listening to something and I hear it for the first time and it like the light bulb goes off. I'm like, this is quality writing, like, or this is like a really interesting thing that happened that nobody's doing. my wind ensemble director, her name was Dr. Belva Prather, and she was, she's a feisty gal, and she would stop. I was in the wind ensemble in school, and very like in depth, like we would be into this like 10-minute piece, maybe in the middle of it, and she would just stop us, just like real like dramatically, and she would just say, "Now, don't you wish you would have written that?" And we all be like, "We were in the middle of playing this, like we were really focused." And she's like, "No, look at that, listen to that. Don't you wish you would have written that? Think about that for a minute," And like I still think about that as just kind of like an exercise to say like, you have to like really appreciate what other people have, put a lot of time into. Even the little things, like somebody might have like really, really been adamant that stays in there. And that was like really, they really held that in their heart really hard. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I love that question.
Sure. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of those kind of stories. Like I've talked about it recently, but like how, when you get like labels and managers and producers involved in different aspects, and they're like, "No, this song sucks. You should, don't be playing."
Right.
And then like, but they're like, "We believe in this one. This is the one we think we should push." And then like that turns out to be the one that's like the mega hit and stuff, and like that. Yep. So, but you got to believe in yourself in times. But
yep.
I think there's all kinds of stories like that people had. They were like, trying to tell them not to, and they believed in themselves to do it and put it in there.
Yeah, there's something to be said about like nobody really ever knows like what the good thing is going to be. I mean, like you have an idea, right? Like if you're like formulaic about stuff, and I know for me, like I rely on certain, song layouts for them to be, for them to hit right, or for them to be effective. But sometimes those unconventional ones hit you harder because you're not expecting it.
Right.
I'm hoping that's the case with this second song that'll be putting out, but we'll talk about that some other time. But yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, very cool, brother. This has been incredible. I mean, just a lot of fun catching up with you.
Yeah, man.
Again, follow Justin Carretta on your socials. Keep an eye out for those hot TikToks videos.
I'm going to do my best. I told myself, and I'm going to say it here, so if I don't do it, I can be held accountable. And I'm going to try to post a TikTok every day for the next month. If I don't do that, you win nothing. Right. You lose. Good day, sir.
Good day, sir. Man, I get in like a habit of watching these like Watch Mojo videos, those like top 10 countdowns.
Oh, dude, I've gotten in so many like been in a YouTube black hole of those.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
There is one that was pretty interesting the other day about really like dark fan theories on movies and stuff. And speaking of that, was one that Willy Wonka is like that he kills all the kids, and that's the secret ingredient in the chocolate and stuff.
Okay, but then also it has something to do with the fact that he hired all illegal labor. Oh, yeah. And that's why he passed the place off to Charlie.
Yeah. I don't know.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? The feds were after him, so he gave the ownership to Charlie to pass off all the, the hardship.
It's your problem.
He doesn't know that they're all,
But they pointed out like that each boat like has only a certain amount of seats, like
right.
So that
he knew that somebody wasn't going to be there.
Right. I don't know. So it was interesting though to hear like some of the theories behind.
So brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Tim Burton.
Yeah.
You could watch the Tim Burton one and probably really get into that.
The Tim Burton one's like, that's a creepy one for sure. Like,
yeah.
But
that was a really hard one to. Sorry, I know we're getting on tangents while we're trying to wrap up here, but that was a hard one to watch.
Yeah.
Whenever it first came out, I'm like, this is a hard one for them to have rebooted.
All right.
In general.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously Gene Wilder doing the original, like so iconic and stuff. And
he's one of my favorite actors of all time.
But anyway, that was very interesting theory. It's fun to some of those things to think about and stuff. And
Yeah.
but there was a couple of pretty good ones on there. But yeah, thank you YouTube and those wormholes, man. Because definitely helping pass some time during quarantine and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, maybe we'll get a music video or something, some live videos. You said maybe you down here in jamming in the basement and things.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get everybody some stuff in between the actual single releases. So hopefully if it goes right, I'll release a single for everybody, and then I'll have maybe one, maybe two live performances in between the actual releases.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, if you... I just want to say, if I can, anybody listening, thank you. If you stream the song, if you visit my page, you do interact at all, thank you. I really appreciate it. Just starting out, so everything helps.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I'm excited to see what's next, man. I'm a big fan of you and your past work and stuff, so I'm excited to see what else is cooking between you and Mike Bivens. So
I'm a fan of you, Shane.
Yeah, appreciate you, buddy. I appreciate all your support, and keep listening to this silly show and talking about Matt Bosler and everything else, all the other silly things that come up on the show. But yeah, man, I appreciate you. I'm glad that again, like I said earlier, I'm glad we've become buddies since all this stuff. So
yeah, man.
So
and thank you for having me.
Yep. All right, everybody. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.
Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast.
Well, yeah, that was it.